Welcome, everybody. This is Dr. Daniel, and today we are discussing a deep and powerful topic, the fallacy of thoughts on the origin of the world. People from different backgrounds approach this question in different ways. The Christian perspective says the world was created by God. It teaches that creation was intentional, meaningful, and purposeful. But the fallacy comes when some people refuse to think deeply and simply repeat what they heard without understanding it. The Muslim perspective says Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and creation is a sign of divine wisdom and power. But the fallacy appears when people either stop reflecting or assume that human reason can fully measure the wisdom of Allah. The Jewish perspective also teaches that God created the universe with order and purpose. Jewish thought values study, interpretation, and reverence. But even here, the fallacy comes when human interpretation is treated as though it were equal to divine truth. The scientific perspective looks at evidence, observation, and theories about how the universe developed. Science is powerful in explaining processes, but the fallacy comes when people act as though explaining process automatically removes the need for a creator. The philosophical perspective asks difficult questions. Why does anything exist at all? Is there a first cause? Is there a necessary being? Philosophy helps sharpen thought, but it becomes fallacious when reasoning becomes too proud, too abstract, or detached from reality. The psychological perspective studies the human mind. It shows that many beliefs are shaped by culture, fear, comfort, and emotion. This is important because it reminds us that people do not always believe things for purely logical reasons. But psychology can also go too far when it assumes that because a belief feels comforting, it must be false. Then we have the critical thinker, who challenges all sides. Critical thinking teaches us not to accept weak arguments, not to confuse emotions with evidence, and not to pretend certainty where humility is needed. So what is the conclusion? As a God-fearing person, I believe the greatest fallacy is human pride. Pride makes some people reject God. Pride makes some people misuse religion. Pride makes some people idolize human intelligence. Pride makes people love being right more than seeking truth. The origin of the world is too great a matter for arrogance. We need faith, humility, honesty, reflection, and wisdom. To me, science may explain some mechanisms, philosophy may sharpen some questions, psychology may reveal some inner biases, and critical thinking may expose weak arguments. But above all, the human heart must remain humble before God. Now I want to hear from you. What do you believe about the origin of the world? Which perspective do you think is strongest? And what is the greatest fallacy people make when discussing this topic? This is Dr. Daniel. Remember, knowledge is power, but wisdom is greater.